Mrs. Career. Oops! I turned into a teddy. Sitting at home, I'm missing you all a lot, and that's what made me turn into a teddy. Oh, but I hope you all are staying safe and healthy and eating lots and lots of food and being really very, very, very strong. Okay? Nutrition is very important, you see. Very, very. But hold on. What is nutrition? What is nutrition? Let's have a think. I know. That's what I'm going to tell you about. All about nutrition. Is nutrition. Nutrition is all about food, and all living things need food to survive. Food helps us get a lot of energy to perform different activities in the day, like moving, growing. But where do we get our food from? We get our food from plants and from animals. And where do plants get their food from? Green plants make their own food using sunlight, water and air. Animals are not able to make their food. So how do animals make their food? Let's have a think. Animals, some of them only, they live on plants to get their food, like the cow, the sheep, horses. And that's the reason why they are called herbivores. Can you name some herbivores? Have a think. Which of these animals eat only leaves or only plants or only grass? Think of something. Okay, I can think of some herbivores. Some like kangaroos, bunny rabbits, they love carrots, giraffes, sheep, which I've already told you, horses, turtles, and butterflies. They eat lots and lots of different plants like fruits, nuts, fresh green leaves, berries, even planktons from the sea. So, what about animals? Some animals get their food from other animals. They love eating other animals, just like the lion, and they are called carnivores. Can you think of any more carnivores that love to eat meat? I can think of some, like the lion, the tiger, the barn owl. They like to eat a lot of other animals. So therefore, they are called carnivores. I've got some examples as well. Just like a cat. A cat likes to eat fish. You've got the eagle that likes to eat snakes and little small animals, just like mice. And shark fishes, they like to eat other fishes. Tigers, as I've spoken about. And what about snakes? And there are many other animals they like to eat, like the bunny rabbit, fishes, walruses, deers, frogs, and mice. Well, some animals eat both. They like to eat plants and they like to eat animals. So what are they called? They are called omnivores. These animals like not only to eat plants, but they also like to eat meat. So they are called omnivores. So if you remember, herbivores are animals that eat only plants. Carnivores are animals that eat only meat and other animals. And omnivores eat plants and animals. Can you think of some omnivores? Have a think. I can think of some. Like the sloth. Okay? He likes to eat a little bit of meat. Okay? And you've got the badger. You've got the hedgehog. Pigs as well. They eat a little bit of vegetables and they like to eat a lot of dirty food as well. And you've got mice. They eat cheese and probably some meat, just like sausages. Okay? And you've got the raccoon. So some like fishes. Some like plants, mushrooms, nuts, worms, okay? Just like a chicken, it eats worms, but it also eats grains, so it's an omnivore as well. And you have got fishes as well. So, humans. So what are we then? Are we herbivores, eating plants? Are we carnivores, eating only meat? Or are you an omnivore, eating plants and meat? Think about it. What do you eat? What did you have for dinner last night? I'm an omnivore because I like to eat meat and I like to eat lots of vegetables. So do tell me what you are. Now, there's something called as a food chain. Okay, food chain is where we depend on each other for our food. Like we cannot go and just start making our own food, but we depend on plants and animals for food. In the same way, when we depend on something, it is called a food chain. A food chain shows how each animal gets its food. Food chains are one ways that living beings depend on each other. Like over here, the mouse likes to eat the caterpillar, and then the owl likes to eat the mouse. So they depend on each other, and the arrow shows them how we depend on each other, which forms a food chain. And I'm going to show you a video on that.
What is a food chain? Including humans, animals and plants, need energy to live. But where do they get their energy from? The answer is easy. All living things get their energy from food. Plants make their own food with the help of sunlight, air and water. Animals and humans don't produce their own food, so they need to eat plants or other animals to get energy and survive. They are all part of a food chain. A food chain shows how plants and animals depend on each other as their source of food. For instance, a caterpillar eats plants, mice eat caterpillars, and owls eat mice. There, a perfectly simple food chain. And we can see food chains happening underwater too. Algae is eaten by small fish. Small fish are eaten by bigger fish. And bigger fish are eaten by sea lions, who are then eaten by sharks. There are lots of different food chains taking place around us, but food chains usually start with a plant and finish with a big, hungry animal. Like me!
I hope that explains to you what actually is a food chain. So going back to our food chain, in a food chain, the arrow shows what it's meaning by it's eaten by. Okay, like this one, as we clearly said, a caterpillar. A caterpillar is the start of the food chain. Continued is eaten by a bird, which is eaten by then. So what is a food chain? So each food chain starts with a green plant. So the green plant is actually a producer. Producer is because they're the ones that most animals depend on. Okay, so therefore they're called producers. And then you've got consumers. All animals are called consumers because they depend on the green plant. So therefore they're consumers by eating the green leaves or the green plants. The last bit is called the predators. The predators, they depend on the consumers. So, as you see, the bird, who is a consumer, eats the producer, that's a plant, and the cat, that's a predator, eats the bird. So the bird becomes the prey and the cat becomes a predator. And they depend on each other. That's the reason why they form a chain. That's called a food chain. So if you see in this picture, these are different types of food chains, okay? And they can be found in different habitats, just like this one. The mouse likes to eat berries. And who eats the mouse? The snake. And who eats the snake? The eagle. In this one, the grass is eaten by the cow. And who eats the cow? We, in the form of meat. Yummy. So your task for today is to draw these animals to create a food chain. On the next two slides, you can use the animals and don't forget to use the arrows to show what they are eating. Okay, so you need to show the arrows. So let's see the animals on the next two slides. So you've got the cow, you've got the fox, you've got the bird, you've got a boy who's eating food, You've got grass, you've got a slug, you've got mouse, you've got a bunny rabbit, and you've got some berries. And in this one, you've got some algae or plankton, which is found under the sea. You've got slugs, fish, shark, frog, and you've got an eagle. So it's up to you how you want to make a food chain, but please do not forget to use the arrow keys. I hope you learned everything all about different types of foods chains, and also about the type of food we eat. So if we eat lots and lots of plants, we are called herbivores. If we eat lots and lots of meat, we are called carnivores. And if we eat a mixture of plants and meat, we are called omnivores. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson and have understood what is the different types of food and food chains. I hope you're able to do this and have a lot of fun. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.